Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Super thrilled to be here tonight. We are live streaming. This is a special episode. This is a special time that we are really bringing to you all the ShEconomy Business Empowerment live stream series. And this is an extension of the Go Be Great podcast. We're live streaming the podcast tonight. And I really wanted to be able to do this because I want to highlight some women that I know who are really out there providing the services with an authentic and genuine heart of service. And so tonight is no different. I have on tonight Dalene Higgins. Y'all, listen, Dalene, I love this lady. This is my sister. We actually talk in text. We last year we would meet several times a week just to bounce things off of one another. Sometimes you have to be able to do that so that number one, you stay sane, okay, in this entrepreneurial journey. And then number two, to just get different ideas. So Dalene, how are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Things are going great. It snowed again today. We had sun yesterday. It's winter. It's cold. I do love the snow, but it's cold. It's cold.
Yeah. So what's y'all's temperature down? And tell us where you are.
So in Utah, and we're actually warmish today. When it snows, we get a little warmer, but it's wet. So we're about, I think when I looked, because I'm like, it's not warm in the house, the heater's not running, it was 42 outside. So that's a little warm. But yesterday, even with the sun, I think it was closer to like 25. So, we've had single digits a couple weeks ago. It's just, yeah, January, I'm not going to lie, is miserable sometimes. And yeah, so hopefully it doesn't last too long. It's dark, it's dreary. So I was grateful for yesterday's sun, and hoping for more because that just, helps us get through this awful month. So.
Y'all, she said it's warmish today at 42 degrees. Oh my goodness. What in the world?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I am really thrilled to be talking to you tonight. I know we haven't talked in a little while. A little time has passed, but that's nothing bad. We both have been just head down, really out here serving the people that we love, serving the way that we love. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you for all of the talks that we've had and how you have just really been that sounding board when, on days that I needed it. And hopefully I was the same for you. So I would love for you to tell us first the name of your business and then how you're serving folks.
Yeah, so my business is Elevate Finances. I am a financial coach. And so I serve Gen Xers. So if you are one, you are one. Yes. So, and the reason I chose Gen Xer, besides the fact that I am one, is we need to wrap up this last phase before retirement and make sure we can go into it strong, happy, ready to, be Gen Xers in that next phase. And it's not the end. Like, when we are retired, it's not the end. It's a new phase. You get to choose to do something different. And so I support them in being able to get their budgets and their savings and their debt all squared away however feels comfortable to them. That's the important key. Is it's not this cookie cutter approach. We do it by personalization, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And we make it moving you towards your goal. So goals are essential. A dream creates desire and motivation. So if you don't have a dream, I'd love to chat with you because that is what you need to be able to be motivated and consistent.
Absolutely, 100%. And listen, I understand there are these misconceptions that when you begin to work on retirement planning and these different types of things, that means you're on your way out of here. No, like you said, that just means you're at a place where you get to make some different decisions. And I absolutely love how you phrase that. And I know as far as thinking about we um how we go about making these decisions and framing the whole idea of the Gen Xer. I was watching a video actually yesterday and I just chuckled because the individual is not a Gen Xer. I believe he's a millennial, but his brother is a Gen Xer. And he was talking about how the millennial was saying, I just really feel like Gen Xers have become silent. They are like the silent generation, and they're in between like the boomers and the millennials or the Gen Z, and they have gotten inheritance money or property. Right, right, right. I'm like, enlighten us, please, because we didn't know.
Yep,
But
yep.
he's like, y'all have gotten this stuff. And so now you've gone missing and you're enjoying your life. And I'm like, what Gen Xer is he talking to? Because I know nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah.
What did we inherit? Besides, just being honest, some dysfunctionalism in some places here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
But what money? What property? What houses? No. We're literally at the point where, like you said, we have to make these decisions. And they came for him. I have to be honest, Dalene. He did a retraction and he was like, listen, I'm sorry. And then, he said, okay, yeah, I know that you all are not. Now I know that you're not the silent generation. No, we're not. We are what they call the forgotten generation.
Yes,
And so
yes.
the fact that you are doing what you're doing, coupled with they call us the forgotten generation, blows it out of the water because we are the forgotten generation. The boomers, they're elderly, so they're having to be taken care of. The Gen Zs are coming up, they're trying to find their way in life. So we're just out here, and the millennials are just taking over. So we're out here trying to get our life together at in our late 40s, early 50s, trying to figure it out. And the fact that you come along and hold our hand and help us make these decisions about our money, and it's not cookie cutter. I just want to take a breath with and for other Gen Xers because you get it. You get it. You get us because you are us, but you get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. That is so extremely important. So, what made you decide to go into this area of service?
Well, so almost 2 years ago, approaching 2 year mark, when I reached financial freedom, I was able to retire due to a pension, due to working hard. I didn't get an inheritance. I didn't do anything that way. And at the time that I reached that, as I was approaching it, I'm like, what am I going to do with my time? I'm not old enough to sit in a recliner, watch TV all day, or do all the things, right? So I've got to find something. And when I came across financial coaching, I'm like, why not? I have this excitement, this thrill. I've just reached my dream, my goal. So why can't I share that and help others just get that same feeling? It's not the same goal that they're going to have or the same dream, but that same feeling of like, I did it. I did it. So yeah, I'm so glad I came across it. So glad I found it. Have met some most amazing people, worked with some amazing clients. It's just been such an adventure. And I am glad that I'm just not even looking back, just going forward and doing it. So
Awesome. Awesome. And you were accountant or bookkeeper before you launched your business?
So I was a finance manager for the sheriff's office. So ultimately what I did was I helped cops budget. So they had to learn how to put
Wow.
the numbers to paper, and they're they're not a numbers people. They're not a desk jockey at all. And so it was really painful sometimes, but helping them understand and apply what they knew they needed, what they knew got the job done to the numbers. That was me. I was a translator in a lot of ways and just helped to them. So, if you're worried about personalities or whatever, I've worked with all sorts and helped all sorts. And it was a great, great journey for us. I did that for 15 years. And so now I'm on the flip side of personal finances and enjoying that as well, helping people really. So my last client, she's like, I just needed the tools. She had a dream. She is one who has come to me with the most clear, amazing dream. And she was like, I was encroaching upon it, and she's a young Gen Xer, but yet she's a Gen Xer. And she's like, I just couldn't figure it out. Very intelligent. She's a COO, runs her own company. She's making 6 figures, but she's like, I can't figure this out. And so, she's like, I felt dumb. And I'm like, you're not dumb. She's very, very intelligent. She pushed me as a coach to, oh my gosh, she is so amazing. I got to keep feeding her. And it was just such a joy, such a joy.
Don't you just love those kind of clients where they don't even realize they're pushing us? Oh my goodness. It's like, you have no idea, because we're not, listen, those of us who are out here on the front line, like myself and Dalene, we're not taking something from a book that we've learned and regurgitating it. We're taking life experience. We're taking what we've learned and we're packaging it up. And that's what makes it so sweet, so amazing, so absolutely 100% amazing. And I have this scrolling down at the bottom, and I want you to tell us a little bit about this, because this just really, like, it made me chuckle. It says, well, I'll let you read it.
Okay. I'm an avid fiction reader and a numbers nerd. I love numbers, and I support my avid reading with spreadsheets. You got to keep the lists. You got to keep them organized. You got to be able to sort them. And I really, I nerd out. I love books, though. I love fiction, all types of fiction. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I've converted my one niece. She's just as nerdy as I am. I don't know if she uses spreadsheets, but she's got something going on. And so it's a great fun. I just absolutely love it. Right now I'm in a fantasy kick, and I'm also reading every book I read from January 1 forward, unless it's for my book clubs. And yes, I did say multiple in that. It has to be over 800. So I'm on my 3rd book of over 800 right now. And that's, I don't usually challenge myself like that, but I've had these books sitting they're on my Kindle, because, we're blind at this age and you got to get big text and easy to read. And so I'm like, I got to knock these out. So I have a list. So I'm on my 3rd one. We'll see where I go from here. And I love reading. I love talking about books. So if you're a fiction reader, let's just connect over that. I'm game. So,
I love that you actually put your books on a spreadsheet. So listen, if you're wondering if she is the right person for you, anybody that puts the books that they read on a spreadsheet, her numbers are top tier. That at the end of the day, when she gets done with you in that budget, however you look at it, whatever you want to call it, when she gets done with you, it is on point. Do you hear me? It is on point. So Halima says, wow, that's awesome. Please give book recommendations. Do you have one book that you'd like to recommend?
I just read the 2nd book. It's of the Crescent City series. So the first one is House of Earth and Blood. So if you're into fantasy romance, that's an amazing one. The 3rd book comes out at the end of the month. Another reason for my push. Or you could read Priory of the Orange. I read that last year, and I'm reading the prequel now. So she wrote the prequel after she wrote the book. And so that's a great one as well. So
awesome. I love that. I absolutely love that. So I wanted to just kind of switch gears and talk about some of the things that I've been doing and how I've been helping folks out here. So as you can see, I do have, let me get it on the screen. Hopefully, I still have it up here. Introvert business strategist. Halaman says, that's cool. I love that. We'll definitely check it out. Thank you. And so, introvert business strategist, I am actually helping folks, women introverts, coaches, consultants, strategists, in the service based arena, really become visible, helping them create this visibility ethos so that they're able to really get in front of their ideal client. What I find um, interesting the most is this, and this is not, this is no shade to anyone that is listening, that will be listening, watching, whatever the case may be, the replay. But one of the things that I ask my clients before we even get started, when we're on these on the pre calls, what is it that you believe you need to do more of in order to get the consistent sales that you want? And what I hear across the board is, I just need to post more. I've had a ton of folks say, I need to start writing blogs. I've had folks say, I need to start doing a podcast. And what I find really the thing that hurts me the most, and again, I've been through all of this, is the fact that when we think we have to do more of something that historically has not worked. And what I mean by that is, we don't have the data that says this works, so we need to do more of it. So probably we need to do something different, is what's the key. And being consistent is one. And unfortunately, a lot of times people think, well, consistency is equal to more, and it's not.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
You can be consistent and post once a week. Once a week. That's consistency. And you can get ideal clients, at your door talking to you. I had a client tell me, I've been waiting for you. Wow. Okay.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
so what happens is, when we know exactly what to say and how to say it, that begins to make a huge difference. A huge difference. And so I just want to encourage those of you that are out there. If you are an introvert, you're an entrepreneur, you're a woman who, you're just like, when it comes to visibility, mm, I can help you with that. I've got strategies. I can help you with that. Uh, so, there are things that I do behind the scenes. And the thing about it is, a lot of times, and I was guilty of this. You can't see my hand the way I have but I was guilty of this. I used to think, if I do what that person did, then that's going to help me get the same results. But because we don't know the strategy behind the scenes, it doesn't work. And so then we become frustrated. And, I remember there used to be days where I would just be like, I'm not getting out the bed. And my go to when I would be stressed out about my business was Scarface.
Oh.
It would be Scarface or Goodfellas.
Mm.
So I would lay in my bed, I'd have my coffee, I'd lay in my bed, and I'd watch Scarface or Goodfellas, or what's the other one? Godfather. Godfather
Oh,
was at the
Godfather,
top of
yes.
the list. Godfather was at
Yes.
the top of the list. And so I knew that when I had a hankering to watch specifically Godfather, Goodfellas, and Scarface, but Godfather, when I knew when I wanted to watch that, internally I was not good. And that happened quite a bit uh about 2 years ago. That happened quite a bit. And that's when things started to change. And I said, okay, something's not right here. And so last year I began to make that shift as well. And so I can tell you 100%, uh, let me just put this out there. If you are trying to post more, if you're trying to get the attention of your ideal audience, there's strategies you really need to put into place. Because as introverts, and I know you're an introvert as well, Dalene.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what it's like to, have that nervousness and that apprehension of being visible. What has your visibility journey been like?
Gal, when I started, I did anything and everything. I worked with, which I was drawn to. There was a couple of coaches I was drawn to, and they were extroverts and complete extroverts. And I think it's because we're like, oh, they've got the energy, we've got the energy, we can do it. And so I was doing all of the things. And after I love to say this, after I tried everything, then I really got in tune with, yes, what was working, but what I enjoyed. I'm an
Mhm.
introvert. There's certain things that I am going to excel at better than an extrovert, or maybe they might choose the same thing, right? But I am going to choose certain things. And so I did. I had my podcast. It was doing amazing and I love it and I enjoy it. It's easy. It's not a burden.
Mhm.
Going on
Mhm.
other people's podcasts, the same thing. Like to me, that's easy, and so supporting it with the content and that, but it's just like trying to get visible. I had a coach one time tell me, you just got to get out from behind your computer. And I'm like,
No, you don't.
okay, there's other ways to be visible. I knew there was. And I'm like, I tried, going to in person. That is when the full introvert comes out in me. I mean, I have no problem getting on here, chatting, getting on a call with somebody and chatting. But that initial wall, a room full of people and hello, that is an introvert's nightmare. At least it is mine. At least it is mine. And
Oh,
to
that
say
is
I have,
that is across the board introverts.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And so, if you are an introvert, if you are struggling with these networking meetings and you want help, go to Karena, because it doesn't have to be that way. And being an introvert, I think we recognize that better and we can help that the other introvert be more in tune with who they are because we're all different anyways, but an introvert is so, so different. So, so different.
Absolutely. And there's just certain characteristics about us introverts that we all share. You know, that those large meetings, listen, if it's a large meeting, even if it's, let me just go ahead and put this out there. Even if it's on Zoom and it's going to be a large meeting, I'm probably not going to want my camera on. I'll put it on. I'm probably not going to join 10, 15 minutes early. Okay. Because that's a lot of pressure for an introvert. That is like a ton of pressure for an introvert. That means I have to make small talk with you. Guess what we don't like at the top of our list?
Yeah.
Small talk. Let's get on with the conversation. Let's get to a point here. Let's arrive.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
and so there are just these things. Now, on the flip side of this, I do want to say this for us introverts. A lot of times we think being an introvert is a disadvantage. And so, what I've really been on, the mission that I've been on probably for the last, I'd say, 8 to 9 months, is really banishing those thoughts, just kicking them to the curb and helping us to really understand that there's an advantage to being an introvert. And I love that you're an introvert. I didn't plan that, but I love that you're an introvert. So I want to get your take on this because, and I already know this about you, but when it comes to writing, how does that help you in your business? Because I know you do blogs. and you do a lot of reading. So writing
Mhm.
is like top of the list for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, it's the free flow. The words come out. There's no, I mean, other than grammar, there's no presentation to it, right? It's just this, it's just the, it just flows. It's just easy. It flows. You can get your ideas out there. That's, yeah, take a white piece of paper and then turn it into your masterpiece with your thoughts, your ideas is easy, right? And wonderful as an introvert. I think is so important. So important.
And that's the key. There are certain things that about us introverts that we can use as a catalyst for what we want to do. Being an introvert, because we're deep thinkers,
Mhm.
we tend to write. Most introverts tend to write. Like I love to write. I think I posted this. This happened sometime last year. I actually wrote a post, and it was a long post. And I said, I want to see what AI detectors say. So I ran it through an AI detector, and it said that it was 100% AI written. I'm real, buddy. I'm flesh and blood. I wrote that from my heart. What do you mean it was AI? And they didn't say that uh Deborah, we must learn to harness our superior skills. Absolutely, Deborah, you nailed it on the head. Yes. But I'm like, it didn't say 20% AI. It didn't say, 60% AI. It said 100% AI generator. And I'm like, what? No.
Wow. Yeah.
What? And, I'm not going to lie, that boosted my confidence. It boosted my confidence, but I was also a little alarmed because I was like, wait a minute. I don't want AI detectors because there's AI detectors all over the place with all most of the platforms and different things. They're able to detect these things and kind of shadow ban and all this stuff. But I'm like, I don't want them to think that I'm, using AI when I'm not. But, it boosted my confidence. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That literally boosted my confidence. But that is an example of how, as an introvert, we can use our skills, our gifts to really put us in a place um, that we really need to be, which is in front of our ideal audience. And so Deborah says, I don't trust them either. And so listen, these are things that I really like to bring to the forefront, especially when it comes to uh, introverts and this disadvantage that we have. Oh, you're quiet. You're this. No, we're introverts, and there's a reason why we're quiet because we're looking, we're listening, we're paying
We're
attention.
absorbing.
Attention.
Yeah.
We're focusing on this. And so these are things that we can use to our advantage when it comes to leaning into our ideal client. We can write that those, that content, create that content, that messaging that's really going to lean into our client, our ideal client, and ensure that it's connecting with them. Because just like you said, your podcast is doing well and you're guesting on podcasts. And one thing that I teach people is, we can go and be on podcasts, we can do all of these different things, but if it's not connecting and landing, which yours is, but we're talking about folks where it's not. If it
Yeah.
is, if it's not landing, there's a reason why. We got to get that messaging together. So I am like dialed in here in 2024. I've got so many different things that we're going to be talking about over the next couple of weeks that are coming down the pike. So, in the meantime, though, for those that are watching, whether you're watching the live or the replay, feel free to reach out to me. If you want to schedule a call, hey, Karena, I need some strategies. Hey, Karena, I really need to get focused on, dialing into my ideal client. I need to um, be able to get my leads increased, then reach out to me. And so, again, if you're an introvert, you're looking to create this ideal client ethos, this visibility ethos where you're saying, this is where I am, and I want to bring my ideal client into this world, then please feel free to do that. And thank you, Halima. Halima has dropped the link down in the comments. And so if you want to schedule that call, that breakthrough call, feel free to do that. And I would love to have this conversation with you so that you don't start what you were doing in 2023. So you don't start doing it in 2024 to keep that feast or famine cycle going. Thank you, Deborah. So Deborah says messaging is so important. Love what you're doing. Thank you, Deborah, so, so very much. I really appreciate it. So, Dalene, I would love for you to tell us how we can get in touch with you. I know I've got your website here, elevatefinances.us, but what is it that we need to know getting in touch with you?
Yeah, over on my website, I have an interest form, an application. When you get into that yourself, it'll explain everything about what's going on. My website does as well. And then you can submit your interest form. I'll let you know if I'm able to help your situation and send you a proposal with everything in there. And if you're curious, send me an email. I have all my contact information on there. I'd love to chat with you that way. We could schedule a free call if that interests you. But yeah.
You know, I love that y'all listen to what people are saying. Dalene said, you submit that interest form. I'm going to look at it and see if I can help you and then send you a proposal. In other words, she's not trying to get your money. She wants your money. We all, if we're in business, we want money. We're not sugarcoating it. We're not trying to, I don't know, be frivolous. Yes, we're looking to make money, but there's ethics that goes along with this.
Yeah.
And y'all already heard her say she's already retired. So Sister Girl is set. She's already ready to go. She's doing this because this is the next part of her life.
My life.
When you have someone, let's put things into perspective, y'all. When you have someone that is not motivated by dollar signs, can you imagine the service that you then receive? Hear me and hear me well. This is what happens when you talk to introverts.
Yes, exactly. Good. Yep. And I want to throw out there, if you are international, you don't have to be stateside. I have my very first client. She lives in Finland. Just onboarded her yesterday. So excited to work with her. And as we were closing the call, she's like, I am so excited to work with you. So that is that relationship that I look for, that it's not just a me feeding you, that it's this togetherness, because that's the only way we can transform.
And the thing about it is, internationally, when you understand that your ideal client, so let me just kind of, I want to say this. When you're looking at your client persona, that client avatar, and you're saying this, and this about my client, a lot of times they say, well, where's your client, your ideal client located? At this point in 2024, we should be saying that they are a global citizen.
Yeah.
How many people are you cutting out of the pie when you say, I'm here in Richmond, Virginia? If I say my client is on the East Coast, East Coast is huge.
Yeah, it is.
But there's the East Coast in Australia as well. There's the East Coast in Canada as well. So find out where your client is, but that's not the biggest thing, because probably, hopefully, they're global.
Yeah.
So I am super thrilled. I am happy that you stopped by and we had this opportunity to chat. Um, Amazing conversation. Thank you so very much. And
Thank you.
y'all get in touch with Dalene, elevatefinances.us. Get in touch with me, gobegreatcoaching.com. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I will see you all on the flip side. Bye for now.